ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ, ನ್ಯೂಸ್ 26ಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ತನ್ನ ಮಗುವಿಗೆ 2 ಬಾರಿ ಜೀವ ತೆತ್ತ ತಾಯಿ. ಒಂದು ಅಸಾಧಾರಣ ಮತ್ತು ಅದೃಷ್ಟದ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಜೀವರಕ್ಷಕ ಎಂದು ಸಾಬೀತಾದ ತಾಯಿಯೊಂದಿಗೆ ಶಿಶುವಿನ ಆನುವಂಶಿಕ ಹೊಂದಾಣಿಕೆ. ಲ್ಯೂಕೋಸೈಟ್ ಅಡ್ವಿಷನ್ ಡಿಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಯನ್ನ ಗೆದ್ದು ಬಂದ 5 ತಿಂಗಳ ಮಗು. 10 ಲಕ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದರಂತೆ ಕಂಡುಬರುವ ಈ ಅಪರೂಪದ ಸ್ಥಿತಿ. ಆಸ್ಟರ್ C.M.I ಆಸ್ಪತ್ರೆಯ ವೈದ್ಯರು 5 ಕೆಜಿಗಿಂತ ಕಡಿಮೆ ತೂಕದ 5 ತಿಂಗಳ ಶಿಶುವಿಗೆ ಅಪರೂಪದ ಜನ್ಮದಾತ, ರೋಗ ನಿರೋಧಕ ಅಸ್ಪಷ್ಟತೆ, ಲ್ಯೂಕೋಸೈಟ್ ಅಡ್ವೇಷನ್ ಡಿಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿ ಚಿಕಿತ್ಸೆ ನೀಡಿದ ಅಪರೂಪದ ಸಾಧನೆಯ ಮೂಲಕ ಗಮನ ಸೆಳೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದರಿಂದ ಇದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ತೀವ್ರ ಸೋಂಕಿನಿಂದ ತನ್ನ ಹಿರಿಯ ಸೋದರನನ್ನ ಕಳೆದುಕೊಂಡ ದುಃಖ ಮರುಕಳಿಸುವ ಅಪಾಯ ತಪ್ಪಿದೆ. ಕಡಿಮೆ ರೋಗ ನಿರೋಧಕ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಮತ್ತು ಕಡಿಮೆ ತೂಕದ ಕಾರಣ 2 ತಿಂಗಳ ಮಗುವಿದ್ದಾಗಲೇ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಗುವಿನ ಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಹದಗೆಡಿಸಲು ಆರಂಭಿಸಿತು. ಸಮಗ್ರ ರೋಗ ನಿರೋಧಕ ಮತ್ತು ಆನುವಂಶಿಕ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಯ IADಯನ್ನ ದೃಢಪಡಿಸಿತು. ಇದು 10 ಲಕ್ಷ ಜೀವಂತ ಜನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ 1 ಬಾರಿ ಕಂಡುಬರುವ ಅಪರೂಪದ ಪ್ರಕರಣ. LAD ಒಂದು ಅಪರೂಪದ ಆನುವಂಶಿಕ ಕಾಯಿಲೆಯಾಗಿದ್ದು, ಇದು ತೀವ್ರವಾದ ರೋಗ ನಿರೋಧಕ ಶಕ್ತಿಯ ಕೊರತೆಯನ್ನ ಉಂಟುಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ದೇಹದ ಪ್ರತಿರಕ್ಷಕ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಹಣೆಯಿಂದ ತಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ಇದರಿಂದ LAD ಇರುವ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಮಾರಕ ಸೋಂಕುಗಳಿಗೆ ಒಳಗಾಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ಪತ್ತೆ ಹಚ್ಚುವುದು ಕಷ್ಟ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಗನೆ ರೋಗವನ್ನ ಪತ್ತೆ ಹಚ್ಚಿ ಚಿಕಿತ್ಸೆ ನೀಡುವುದು ತುಂಬಾ ಮುಖ್ಯ. LADಗೆ ಇರುವ ಏಕೈಕ ಚಿಕಿತ್ಸೆ ಎಂದರೆ ಆರೋಗ್ಯದಾಯಕ ದಾನಿಯಿಂದ ಬೋನ್ ಮ್ಯಾರೋ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅದೃಷ್ಟವಶಾತ್ ತಾಯಿಯ ಮಾನವ ಲ್ಯೂಕೋಸೈಟ್ ಪ್ರತಿಜನಕ ಮಗುವಿಗೆ ಹೊಂದಿಕೆಯಾದ ಕಾರಣ ಮಗುವಿನ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಭರವಸೆಯನ್ನ ಮೂಡಿಸಿದೆ. ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮ ತೊಡಕುಗಳ ಹೊರತಾಗಿಯೂ ವೈದ್ಯರು BMTಯನ್ನ ನಡೆಸಲು ನಿರ್ಧರಿಸಿದ್ರು. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ತಾಯಿ ತನ್ನ ಮಗುವಿಗೆ 2 ಬಾರಿ ಜನ್ಮ ನೀಡಲು ಅವಕಾಶವಾಯಿತು ಅಂತ ಆಸ್ಟರ್ C.M.I ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ ತಜ್ಞರು ತಿಳಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Success rate depends on lots of things. One, the success rate depends on for what condition we are doing. And number 2, what kind of donor we are taking. Most common transplant which we do for thalassemia, like where the child needs repeated blood transfusion, and if you are doing it from a sibling, that means a related donor. Actually, the success rates are quite high. We are talking at 90 to 100% success rate in those situations. But this is a different situation. This we are doing a transplant for a disease which is 100% fatal without a transplant. Like if we do not do a transplant, there is no chance of survival. So even though the success rate might not be 100%, there is no other go. So even if there is risk, even if there is side effects, we have to go ahead and do the transplant because there is no survival without the transplant. Even in this case where there is a matched donor, that means there is a fully matched mother donor, this condition we would expect the success rate to be anywhere around 80%. But what you have to remember is otherwise there is no survival. But once they make the initial phase, most of the things happen in the first few months. Here, once they get over this phase, we expect them to do well completely and lead a normal life.
In the critical care condition, what are the risk factors involved?
Well, because in this child, the most critical thing was this child had a resistant bug, which is an infection. Usually, that is where the infection is the one which causes most of the mortality in the initial period. Okay, that was the highest risk in this child also. And also the other complications which Dr. Stalin has explained in the first few months, not in the first few weeks. That means when I say in the first 2.
After, just want to add, like if somebody sees a child who had a bone marrow transplant, say after 5 years, 7 years later, nobody will be able to recognize that this child had a transplant. It is opposed to you have a surgery, you have a scar. So here the child looks completely normal. Everything is completely normal. The child, nobody will be able to recognize unless the parents tell that this child had a transplant. Nobody will be able to tell that.
And the child won't be on any long-term medications also. Usually about 1 to 1.5 years after this, no medication is required. So literally if you say come closer, sir.
Consultant hematologist and bone marrow transplant physician at Astor. I have my colleague Dr. C.P. Senior Consultant Pediatric Hematologist. oncologist and transplant physician. We have two more colleagues who are here today, Dr. Stalin and Dr. Sagar, all from Astor C.M.I. hospital. So this baby was just 5 months old when we decided to take this baby up for a very challenging procedure called allogenic bone marrow transplantation. This type of procedure can be done in this age group, but usually clinicians will prefer the baby to be slightly older, slightly weighing more, if possible around 10 kg. This baby was just around 5 kg and had active infection. But this baby had a condition which would not have let her survive without this bone marrow transplantation. So after counseling the family that even during the transplant infections and risk of death is very high, we have gone ahead with the procedure because that was the only life-saving procedure. It was quite challenging. I would take this opportunity to thank all our nurses for their excellent supportive care, and without which we could not have done this. Dr. Raghuram is here. He will elaborate on a few aspects of the treatment.
EMT physician at Astor Hospital. This was a challenging case in that this child was only 5 months old and the child has been having infections right almost from birth, and child has the first 4 months of life the child has spent most of the time in the hospital because of the infection. And this child was picked up to have immunodeficiency, that the child had reduced immunity because of a condition called glucose adhesion deficiency, what short form is LAD. Because of this, the child had repeated infections, and they were so repeated that one was merging into the another, and we were not getting a time without an infection to go ahead with the transplant, so we took up the child with active infection. So it was a challenging transplant, and like hematopoietic stem cells, that is called the bone marrow, from the mother will be given it to the child, and it has started working well, and the child has overcome this resistant bug, and child is now free of infection and is growing well.
ಇನ್ನಷ್ಟು ಸುದ್ದಿಗಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರಿ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ 26 ಕನ್ನಡ. ನಾವು ನಿಮ್ಮೊಂದಿಗೆ.